Wait a minute. So while I was gone, you mean he spaced out that bad?
Yeah.
Just call it what it is, man.
Yeah, he did.
Damn.
I'm looking at him like, okay, let's do some football. And David is just staring at me.
Good heavens.
And I'm like, oh, okay, well, play the music.
Subpar music.
He goes, oh, the music.
And then he finally realized, he's like, oh, I spaced out.
Wow.
He was gone for
He
like
had
5
vacation on the
seconds.
brain. Okay. Well, welcome in, everybody. So here's what we're going to do. I want to break this up a little bit. We are going to get to Liv and the PGA. It is delightful. It's hilarious to me. We're going to get to it at 3. We're going to break it up just because Doug and Scott talked about it so much, as they should. But I have something I want to start with, and then at 3, we're going to get to Liv, the PGA, what it all means, and, man, how will the woke golf media survive? We'll get to it. I want to start out, though, with something near and dear to my heart, which is Javy Baez. And
He didn't give us the, what did we call
the
it?
Spitzel.
The Spitzel.
You've heard of the cycle.
Yeah.
We're rooting for the Spitzel. So here's the deal. If you didn't watch the game last night, you can easily find what I'm about to talk about, okay? If you did watch the game, then you know what I'm about to talk about. Javy Baez had the biggest DGAF swing that I've ever seen from a Detroit Tiger, maybe ever. He had an at-bat with this team down 8-3 against Sarah Anthony Dominguez, where he threw a slider that was a foot outside the strike zone in his hand. This ball finished over 3 feet outside the strike zone. When I tell you Javy Baez could have had a push broom in his hand that is 6 feet long and would not have hit this thing, that is not hyperbole. You can find this piece. Now, why is this relevant? This is not just lazy and we're going to make fun of Javy. No, I'm going to tell you something. A.J. Hinch and Scott Harris should bench Javy Baez for 3 games. And it's not just a performance issue. Not just the fact he's 4 for his last 40. Not just the fact that he's not giving them anything. That was an at-bat where he took 2 strikes down the middle, and with a swing like that on the next pitch, he predetermined in his mind, I'm swinging no matter what's happening. Mm-hmm. And that means he is either so messed up and he can't get out of it, or he cares so little he doesn't want to bother.
Yeah.
And my point is, no matter where you are in rebuilding, you could be the traveling circus that's the Oakland A's, you could be the Kansas City Royals who are a mess, or you could be you. There has to be a standard for what it means to be a Detroit Tiger. Now, some of you will laugh and go, oh, what does that mean, losing? Listen, whether you're Tampa Bay, the Yankees, the Oakland A's, or anything in between, you have to set an organizational standard.
The culture, as people like to say.
I cannot have a player like Javy Baez having a bat like that around my young players because I'm telling them it's okay. Rico, when you start a guy who is, and Paul Serra did some great research,
Yeah,
and it's
he
nothing we didn't know. There's 162 qualified players. He's 161 in OPS and 159 in this and 160 in this. Here, translation, this dude blows. So the point I'm making is, when you keep trotting him out there, when you keep putting him up in the batting order, and you get what you saw last night, you are sending the wrong message, and you are telling not only your players, you are telling your customers there is no standard to being a Detroit Tiger. Look, you can laugh. Rico may end up making fun of me. I'm not being dramatic. I'm being serious with you. I take the rebuild serious, and I want Scotty Harris to have a real shot to do this. That at-bat last night was one of the most embarrassing at-bats I have seen in my 20 years watching Tiger baseball with you on these airwaves. That singular pitch. Rico, I told you, go watch this. You had a busy evening last night. You didn't get a chance to see it. Respect. No, you were just busy. The point I'm making, when you watched it, did I oversell it, or were you like, oh, my sweet baby Jesus?
No, he was just caught in no man's land. He was guessing. And you're a major leaguer, you should be above that. That tells me he's overthinking things. He knows things are bad for me. And I got 2 straight fastballs. He's going to throw me a third one, and he was fooled. Hey, the best way I can describe it, it was like when the defensive lineman jumps off sides and realizes I'm just stuck in no man's land. And you know what? Yeah. Because the swing, it reminded me of the meme with Sister Jean striking him out last year when that was going around the internet.
This was worse.
So I like what you say about the standard because it's a young team. You do have to tell them, guys, don't pattern yourself after him. This will not be acceptable. There's a new sheriff in town. Whatever cliche you want to use, you need to use it, and you do need to establish a baseline with this team. And maybe, and here's the catch, one of 2 things will happen if you do bench him. Either A, he catches fire like he did for 7 games the last time you did it, or B, maybe he just doesn't want to be here anymore and maybe opts out and saves you a lot of money and a lot of time and a lot of trouble.
So I want to know from the people, and we're going to get to the live stuff. But, guys, listen, I know they're not a good baseball team. I'm not just taking a cheap shot. I know Javy's bad. When you see things like last night, you're seeing a guy that either can't get right or doesn't care to. That's not a major league at bat. Whether you make $2 or $20 million. A.J. Hinch and Scott Harris should bench him for 3 games. Guess what? You do crap like this again, we'll sit you for another 3. We can do this all day long, Javy, because you're stuck with us, and we're stuck with you. So here's the deal. Get with the program. Scotty Harris came here and said, we're going to own the strike zone. Put that video up and tell me what that is. Javy, get with what we're trying to do here, or we're going to make your life a living hell. Oh, well, I won't opt out. We know you're not opting out anyways. Javy, no one wants you. It's like the scene in Moneyball.
Yeah.
When Brad Pitt is talking to alleged David Justice.
Yeah.
Right. That's what the Yankees think of you, David. Nobody wants you, Javy. We don't want you. But if you don't get with the program, I'm not going to disrespect the Old English D. I'm not going to disrespect the other guys in that room by putting you out there to do that. And guys, that swing, that strikeout is everywhere. Rico said it's all over social media. If you watch the game, you know. So I want to know if A, does it upset you at the level it upsets me? Because, guys, again, whether you win or lose, there has to be a standard. There has to be a line you draw and you go, you know what? We have now reached unacceptable phase. Hey, when guys try and they're just not good, like you're Tyler Nevin, you're just not good at baseball.
Right.
It's not his fault. He doesn't wake up going, I want to be terrible. He's just not good. That's different than what I see from Javy. I see a guy that has reached YOLO stage, F it stage. That's what I see. And look, this isn't 1950.
No.
You're not riding the train with the team, okay? You don't know who the guy's, what he's doing after hours or who he's doing or where he's going or what it is. I don't care. I keep it between the lines. I see a guy right now that at a minimum is lost and at a maximum is not enjoying anything to do with his job. I'm not playing you.
No, Mike, I was going to say lost, I think, is the best term to use because he looks like a guy who's out there guessing. He's second-guessing himself. He's not enjoying this because he knows I can do better. I just don't know how to do better. And I'm here, and I can hear the boos, and I know people expect more. I expect more, but he can't get it done. And, yeah, that swing was kind of a microcosm of just his time in Detroit where – I'll just throw the bat at it and look like I'm at least trying.
And look, you know what? Maybe you, the fans, maybe you're Javy Baez. Maybe you care so little you can't be brought to talk about it. It's your business, your prerogative. And we'll get to live golf. But I'm not letting go what I saw last night. So I'll throw the number out and I'll pretend that there's 10 people in this city that give a rip about their baseball team. Because look, maybe part of my issue is I think more of your franchise than you think. I have always viewed the Detroit Tigers, much like I view the Cincinnati Reds, as one of the icon franchises, albeit a struggling one and a poorly ran one. I view you as more than you view yourself. And I think it is wholly unacceptable for you to have a guy out there making $20 million a night making a mockery of the sport. Look, Cabrera just can't play anymore. Yeah. I don't think it's that Miguel doesn't care. He can't play anymore. And he's 100.
Despite being in the best shape of his life.
Okay. But Baez, yeah. I encourage you, if you haven't seen that at bat, Evan either has it on 971theticket.com or it is on every social platform on planet Earth per Rico Beard. Guys, he should be sat down. I'd love for you to argue it. And there's going to come a point where there are good young players here. And there's going to come a point where this team has to move forward. I will never allow a player like that, with at-bats like that, to poison my young players. Because if that's allowed, what message is A.J. Hinch? What message is Scotty Harris sending?
Right.
248-539-9797. We'll get to live in the PGA and the heel turn and the rest. Go ahead. What?
No, because this is where a guy like Cabrera, to me, would earn his money and just pull him aside and say, hey, buddy, no. Not like this. Either you're going to do this or you're not going to do this, but you won't make a mockery. You got to be the veteran in the locker room or in the clubhouse. You have to be that voice of reason. He's not. They don't have one, and he's out there just kind of doing what you say. He's just half-assing it. No other way to put it.
If you haven't seen the video, go look at it. Laugh your balls off and then give us a call and join us. 248-539-9797.